Bonjour tout le monde. This grammar video is going to cover an important topic introduced in Tricolore Total 1, Unité 6C, regular ER verbs. By the end of this video, you should be able to explain why verbs change their endings in French and use regular ER verbs correctly. Firstly, a bit of background. As you should already know by now, verbs are doing words referring to action. Kicking, running, chasing, and so on. Just like you've learnt in Latin, French verbs change their endings depending on who is doing them. So you need to learn the endings and then who they apply to. The people who are doing verbs are called subjects, and here are the different subject pronouns which we need to know and recognize. So, French and English. We should already know these by now, so je means I, tu is you, used of one person in an informal context. Il or elle means he, she, or it, depending on whether the thing is masculine or feminine, while on is a more general word that can mean we, one, or you, depending on the context. Nous means we, and vous is the plural and or formal form of the word you. Finally, il and elle both mean they, depending on whether you're talking about a masculine or mixed group or a female group. On to the topic of today's video, forming ER verbs. There's a few steps that you need to go through, and I'll illustrate them in a moment. So firstly, you need to take the verb as it's listed in the back of your book or in a dictionary and take the ER off the end. Once you've done that, you then need to decide who is doing the verb, so that means who the subject of your verb is. Once you've done that, you can then add the appropriate ending, which you're going to learn off by heart. So here's our example, the verb jouer, which means to play. We're going to chop off the ER. Then we decide who we're speaking about, so say, for example, I want to talk about myself. I will use I or je in French. Then I can add the correct ending to the end of the stem that I took from step 1. So je joue means I play in French. So the endings that we need to learn are as follows, and these are really important to learn because you can apply them to any verb that is regular and ends in ER, which is a whole lot of them, so it's going to save you a lot of time. So we're going to use jouer, which means to play, as an example. So in the je form, as we've already seen, we need to take off the ER and add an E. So je joue, which means I play or I am playing. For tu, you add an ES. Tu joues, you play. For il or elle or on, we also add an E. So il joue means he plays. For nous, we add ONS. Nous jouons, for we play. For vous, we add an EZ, vous jouez, meaning you play or you are playing. And finally for il or elle, we add an ENT, il joue. Notice that we don't pronounce the NT, it just sounds like the other top 3 forms, il joue. And so that means they play or they are playing. Now to check that you've got this, I'd like you to have a go at applying this to another verb. So you can apply this to any other regular ER verb, but let's take the verb tuer, to kill, as an example. So now pause the video and jot down the 6 different forms. I kill, you kill, we kill, and so on. Okay, now check that you've got the answers right. So je tue, I kill. Tu tues, you kill. Il or elle tue, he or she or it kills. Nous tuons, we kill. Vous tuez, you kill. And il or elle tue, they kill. Hopefully that made sense. If not, note down questions or problems and we can talk about them in class. Au revoir, à bientôt.